Greetings and God's perfect love from the worship transition team. As most of you are aware, the COVID-19 pandemic is far from over, and we unfortunately find ourselves in the midst of another surge of infection rates. The growth of infection is exponential and threatens to overwhelm our healthcare systems nationwide and locally. 1 month ago, we had 40 patients hospitalized in my health system, and as of today, we have over 270 hospitalized patients with 25 on ventilators. In spite of a recent 6th-floor addition to the main campus, we are perilously close to reaching capacity. The auxiliary cafeteria has been converted into emergency room overflow to try to meet demand, basically a MASH unit within the confines of the hospital. We are getting transfers of patients from Indianapolis and Ohio due to capacity issues. The increase in reported positive cases are not a manifestation of increased testing, but rather true infection that often requires hospitalization due to the severity of illness. Serious illness is not isolated to elderly and those with pre-existing conditions. I have cared for patients across the age and health history spectrum. I simply cannot stress this enough. This is real. It is likely that we will see additional surge on top of the current situation in the next several weeks because of the Thanksgiving holiday and not adherence to the guidelines and recommendations from medical experts. If we reach or exceed capacity, we will be forced to begin to ration care, which means that we will be required to make heart-wrenching decisions as to who gets care and who we send home with only comfort measures to die. I do not wish to add fear to the surrounding crisis, but I cannot stress just how dire the situation truly is. Taking all the above into consideration, the transition team has been forced to make some incredibly difficult decisions regarding in-person worship to maintain the safety of our church family and community at large. Beginning immediately, we will suspend in-person worship until further notice. The transition team will continue to monitor the pandemic and disease rates and make decisions about return to in-person activities based on the data. In-person gatherings will be limited to 10 persons or less, adhering to previously outlined guidelines. This includes church-sponsored activities such as Bible studies, as well as outside groups wishing to use our facility. Bright Beginnings Preschool will continue to adhere to prior guidelines and follow the lead of Lakeland Community School Corporation as to the need to suspend in-person activity. We realize how difficult these decisions are, especially given the Advent season and Christmas, but we feel it is in the best interest of our church family and community at large. We appreciate your patience during this extremely trying time in the life of the church, but we will ultimately prevail over this pandemic. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Let us all reflect the light of God's perfect love. Questions or concerns may be directed to members of the transition team, and as always, our continued prayers for guidance are appreciated. On a personal note, this illness is real. Please practice social distancing guidelines recommended by our public health experts. Mask up, wash your hands, and I cannot wait to see all of your smiling faces in person once it is safe to return. Thank you.